So, Gemini, this is your weekly oracle and tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. It's for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or wherever Gemini energy influences your life, your natal chart. You could be dealing with a Gemini. Pull up a chair. There's always an extended. That link is below. Join me over there. Wow. So there's a lot happening. And it's hard for me, because I can be an alarmist, to not let out a call of alarm and say, warning, warning, Gemini, warning. There's a little bit of an unraveling of sorts. One that has to happen. But at the same time, let me say it this way. Because I don't know if it's you or somebody that you're dealing with, but it is an energy surrounding you right now. It's not reliable. It is pretending to be fine on the outside when it's not fine on the inside. I don't necessarily feel like there's a ton of bad shit that's going to happen to you, but there is a sense of feeling like crumbling. Feeling like just breaking down, like you've been through a lot, and whatever you have been through and whatever decisions that you've made or actions that you've taken, they've really worn you the fuck down. And now outwardly it seems like everybody is on your side. And this just goes to show it doesn't really fucking matter how beautiful you are, how much money you have, or how much other people like you. If you don't like yourself or you don't feel settled in yourself, your world can still fall apart. And there is that shakiness to you. There could be a big temptation to start falling back on vices. So it doesn't necessarily have to be drugs and alcohol. It could be just vices, eating too much, or negative behaviors, staying up too late when you know you have to get up for work and then it's going to affect your work schedule. Whatever it is that it is that comfort zone, but it always drags you down, there is a temptation to slide back in there. And I have to say that it's not scary. I'm not scared. I think that this is part of your unraveling. I think this is part of your process. I think this is what you have to allow to happen, which takes a whole hell of a lot of faith. Right? Because it's like, so you want my life to fall apart? I don't want your life to fall apart. I know you don't want your life to fall apart. But there is an essence of, I know this has to come all undone. I know it because all of this is a lot of craziness. And it's been a lot of chaos, and it's been too much for a long time. And so it all falling apart and slipping away is part of what needs to happen for it to be finished. So once again, this takes a whole heck of a lot of faith. If you feel like unraveling and you feel like falling apart, do it, because it's supposed to happen. Keeping it all together on the surface, it's not sincere. Or you're dealing with an energy or a person that it's not sincere. Everything seems like everything is wonderful on the surface. Or trying to keep it all together and make everything seem like really, really good. Extreme cases, you could be dealing with a fake motherfucker who is just trying to come off like smelling like roses. Their shit is motherfucking Chanel No. 5. You know what I'm saying? But you know for a fact that that's not what's going on. That's not what's happening. That's not what's real. And there could be like public persona versus what's really going on under the surface. Well, whoever is doing that, if it's you, if it's somebody else, whoever is keeping up that persona, they're shaking so much inside that they're going to crumble. And either one, whoever it is, it has to crumble. Because it's not meant, this structure that was built was really a facade. It was papier mâché, right? It was a set for a movie. It was not even, it was, I don't know what they call them, but it's like, it's just fake. It's a facade. You know, it looks like there's buildings there, but it's not. It's just paint and wood. It's not. It doesn't have any foundation or basement or beams like supporting it. There's nothing that's really there that's real. It's just a facade, and it has to come down, and it has to come down because it was always only temporary. You know, and I think that there was some intention here, thinking I'm just going to put this up until I'm actually ready, until I can actually get things to work. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. There might be this overlap of everything crumbling before you actually figure out what you want to build or where you want to build. And the truth is, that's okay too. It just takes a lot of strength, Gemini, to be able to understand that you're allowed to fall apart and be that imperfect, even if people are watching. So take a deep breath, let it out, let it quake through your veins, and let it just spill out everywhere. Because what is actually the danger is hanging on, holding on, and doing whatever you need to do and falling upon whatever vice you need to fall upon in order to keep up the facade. That's the danger here, because that's the other choice. And that is not what you want at all. Hold on. My son's coming in. Hold on. So not everything that is, not everything that is meant to last for a long time starts in a neat, clean way either, right? So there's a sense of realizing or recognizing that, yeah, this is the messy way that things could all begin, but I don't even think you're there yet. There's this sensation of dealing with this energy that just needs to fall apart. It needs to crumble. It's not like a wrecking ball. It is like a deconstruction. It is like, almost like a cocoon phase where you're coming apart into itty bitty like cellular pieces to put yourself back together again. There is a recognition. I want to say this 100%. There is a public recognition. And this could be a good thing or a bad thing. If it's real fake and it's real false, of course it's a bad thing. But there is a public recognition of your work, of you, of people noticing you and seeing you. And there is a little bit of a caveat temptation for this energy to get so wrapped up in wanting to keep that approval that it almost becomes a vice. Like the public approval itself becomes a vice, becomes something that you become dependent upon, you or this person that you're dealing with has become dependent upon to feel okay or to feel good about themselves. Right? To feel like their life has any potential whatsoever. So let's just keep up. Let's just keep up whatever the public opinion is. I'm going to go after that and I'm going to get it. I need to keep it. So I'll get it whatever way I can get it, which means not even taking the time to look at what's sincere and what really matters, because all that really matters is just going after whatever kind of public opinion you can get. So there is that caveat and that pitfall that somebody could fall into. That is the big warning. It is like that red flag that I hope is flapping in your face, or I hope this video kind of like flaps that red flag in your face, because that's I don't want you to be there. I don't want you to be acting or I'm sure you don't, if you're dealing with somebody that is going through this, I'm sure that you wouldn't want them to basically lose themselves for public opinion. That's a real temptation here. That's a real maybe, right? And that's why the red flag is waving. I don't think that it's hurting you or harming you unless you're specifically dealing with a legal situation. In a legal situation, it could tie things up and slow things down. Even if you're getting the positive public recognition, there could be this, it's almost like too much attention on you. if you're going through legal struggles or legal battles, it's almost like there's too much attention on you. And inevitably, what seems so good right now will turn bad. If that's not the case, this is simply a sense of feeling like bad karma is coming back and unraveling you. Feeling like there's no way that you can escape this unraveling. And I can guarantee you that that is true. There is no way that you can escape the unraveling. The only way to get out of this hell is to get through it. That's not good news, but I don't think it... I know I'm trying to find some... because there is... The positive is there's an end in sight. And ultimately, things will calm down. I just think right now there is this need in you to let everything fall away. You know, I got this kind of premonition for you guys of some deteriorating relationship. So this could all be, everything I've just described to you could be a flash from your past. Could be what you did in the past that ruined something that was extremely important to you. Something that you were actually meant to be, fated to be, kind of went against God's plan by not grabbing onto this opportunity when it was offered to you, but there was just too much happening at the same time. There was too much emotion involved, and you needed things to fall apart to feel better. There was just too much, and you collapsed, and maybe even fell onto some sort of vice, and to get away from or distance yourself from yourself, because this wasn't really something that you wanted to lose. But you did, but you weren't ready to have it. So this could be something that happened in your past that's now coming back and almost happening again to be healed and to finish up. Or it could be happening right now. Be very, very wary of it, because there is that tendency, if you're feeling that pull, to fall into those easy decisions or those escapist kind of roads. You're going to regret it later. Let's get into the cards. Okay. Concern, yes. Are you dealing with a Pisces? Because this is intense. There's intense Piscean energy that is in reverse. Could have to do with Neptune in reverse, right? It could have to do with the fact that the veil has been pulled back and shit is getting revealed. But it also could be very deceptive and self-deceiving, tricking yourself, trying to make things go faster than they're supposed to go, or make things feel okay when they're not okay. Usually the moon card, this is like my moon card in reverse, is a blatant deception. Definitely things being hidden, things being uncovered, and maybe too many things being uncovered too quickly. There could be some intentional investigation going on where people are looking through your things or looking into your life or scrutinizing you in ways that you wouldn't normally be scrutinized. So there is that sense of foreboding, if you will, but definitely if you feel somebody's keeping something from you, they are. Especially if you're dealing with a Pisces, there's a lot that's about to come out. Okay, there's a lot that needs to be shared that you don't know yet about them. Just letting you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be against you, but there is going to be like a heavy buttload of stuff that you hadn't expected. There is also a sense of things moving too quickly, or somebody trying to force you or push you, or you feeling like things are moving too quickly so that they can brush over things, like drive too fast so you don't see the details. Do you know what I'm saying? But you need to see the details. You need to look at them. So this is some sort of, at the very least, it could be some sort of investigation happening. Let me show you the next three cards. There is this sense of playfulness. Gemini, Libra energy. I don't know if you're dealing with a Libra, but there is a sense of being the present. You're just trying to focus on the right here, right now. Somebody's just trying to focus on the present, or get people to focus on the present. And look, everything is going really well. Trying to heal yourself by forcing yourself to focus and be shallow and stay playful. But it's not. There's just this undercurrent of, you know, something isn't right. So acknowledge it. Like Gemini, that's the secret to success right now, is to acknowledge something's up and something has to come out. It has to be talked about. It has to be revealed. We can't just brush over this. This is real. I don't know. Yeah. Let me get into the other two cards that concern me. These cards coming out together. This is your energy in reverse. Slowed down, unraveling, coming apart, or stalled. And then this is the almost Capricornian energy in reverse. So there's a sense of basically you could be overcoming addictions. You could be overcoming you know, bad habits, bad behaviors, bad choices, but it's happening very slowly. It's almost like you're stuck in mud, and maybe even you feel like you're regressing a little bit. Like all the efforts you've made to get yourself together, pull yourself together, are unraveling. If you are going through a lawsuit, this is a sense of things not going well. Right? Feeling that they're unraveling, feeling like you've lost control somehow and you don't really know where or how. But there's definitely a sense of something that you thought that you had. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. That's 623. Something that you thought that you had under control is now getting out of control. Co-create with spirit is in reverse, which means that this energy didn't listen to spirit, didn't listen to the divine, didn't listen to intuition, didn't listen to fate, didn't connect. It was disconnected. There was an intentional break from what was supposed to happen, what was fated, what was meant to be. You know, it was almost like going against God's plan. I'm not saying that there's any evil at work or play. Happy birthday, Michelle and Sandygate. I'll explain to you what I'm doing in a second. But and I know you're saying, well, if it's against God's plan, isn't it evil? No, this is more human foible than it is blatant evil. This is a sense of, it's like, you just weren't ready for what was being asked of you. It was just that simple. And it's like, you know, when spirit knocks on your door, you don't get a chance to, you can't say come back, right? If you say you're not ready, there's a disappointment, there's a void. And it's almost like a void that continues to affect you or influence you until something happens, until a later time when you can repair it. And I think that could be what is happening right now. There is this sense of, I gotta let it all crumble because it was never supposed to be, right? It was a falsehood that I was building from the beginning. And then, in other words, I never deserve, say somebody stole money, right? Not to say that you stole money, but this is just the metaphor. All right, you stole money. You were never supposed to have it. You spent it all. You got the best furniture. You got a great house. Well, now it's like, give it all back. It was never really yours. And you know it. So there's almost a sense that you want to give it all back. You don't care that you're sleeping on the beach tonight. You care that you're free of all that heartache and all that stress and all that energy you had to continue to dump into the falsehood. That's what really matters, is freedom. We've talked about that before, Gemini. This is Cancerian energy. It's you transcending yourself. It's you becoming something that is more beautiful and more capable. It's a sense of magic, working magic, and getting in touch with your intuition and letting that intuition and whatever, finally trusting it and letting it radiate out of you. It's all coming from you, is what this card is telling me. Or you and your magic is working on somebody else, working to heal disappointment in somebody else. There could have been a love that you were drained. It was a love that was either draining and sucking the life out of you, or it was a love that you just never felt good enough for. You always felt sort of diminished somehow, like it was always going to end, so why not end it? You know, it was always too good to be true, so why not let it be over with quicker? That kind of energy. This is a sense of star-crossed lovers almost. So this is Aries and this is Libra energy. Opposites attract, but the Aries energy, the divine masculine energy, is diminished somehow. It feels emasculated, like it's not good enough for this situation, which is why there was this sense of escape, needing to escape. So whoever's working in the divine masculine, there's a sense of it's either you or your partner. There was a need to escape because it just didn't feel good enough. Okay, and now where is in the future position, right? This is Libran energy. Trusting in the moment and trusting in the ambiguity. And that's why I say that there's this sense of relief of getting rid of everything, because trying to juggle all those things are putting you out of balance, and you just want to be in balance and then learn from the past. And this is Taurus energy, really being able to bulldoze your way through and find that strength to maturely say, I'm going to feel comfortable where I didn't feel comfortable before. I'm going to look that discomfort in the eye and I'm going to deal with it right now. I'm going to deal with the ambiguous state. I'm going to deal with feeling diminished. I'm going to deal with feeling out of control, because what I need to have right now is just have faith. And I think that that's why you're actually ready this time to feel uncomfortable, to feel vulnerable, to feel diminished, because you know the other choice is so much worse, because you just got out of that hell. You lived it for the past maybe 10 years. I could say at least 10 years, maybe up to 20. There is just a sense of being stuck in a cycle of always trying to paddle away from the whirlpool. And it's just like, I need to get sucked down. And at the bottom, you will find freedom. You're not going to find death. You're not going to find destruction. You're going to find freedom. You're going to find the way out, the way that you thought was going to destroy you. Wow. This is some serious shit. Let's go to the angel messages, because they're really important. Okay. Divine intervention. What? Gemini. What is going on? First card out was divine intervention. You may feel frustrated because something stalls or comes to a standstill. It's like the whole freaking time the spirit guides are listening. Progress seems painfully slow. Yet this is a blessing. It is divine intervention at work. When the timing is in perfect harmony, all will come to fruition. And you know this, which is probably why you're not afraid of it. Wisdom, which is what this card is about. Learning from the past and balancing, being very economic with the resources that you have and not needing a lot. Learning from the past. Wisdom. Everything has a place and a purpose. To be wise is to have great love, tolerance, and compassion for all things, including yourself, which I think is the hardest thing to do. But there is that level up, this sort of acknowledgement by spirit of, we know that you went through the ringer. We know that you got it this time. And even if you're scared of taking the test, we're absolutely certain you're going to pass it, because it's not about what you know. It's about what you understand. This isn't something you can memorize. Fear. I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through the present time. I love you. I protect you and keep you safe. Trust that all is well. Accept my love and allow it to dissolve your fear. You are protected. You are loved. And if there is somebody trying to love you, let them. There's so many nuances here, Gemini, that suggest that you are afraid to love, afraid to let yourself love, admit that you love somebody, afraid to return to love because that's what you screwed up. Or this person in your life, that's what they screwed up with you. Just so afraid to return because they know that it was their fault. Whoever left. 25-25, you could be dealing with a divine counterpart. Pisces, Libra, there's a lot of signs here. Lots of Libra, lots of Pisces though. This is intimidating you. This sense of, but I screwed it up. I decided to leave. So what? You're going to constantly torment and torture yourself? This is already saying you don't have to have any fear. There is no need for the fear. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your efforts. It's a waste of your energy. I'm here to protect you. You're going to be safe. You're going to be fine in this place that you feel so scared of, so uncomfortable in. At the same time, you want to go into that space so badly because it's where you need to go to get to where you're going. It's what you need to go through. Let it go. Just like throw your hands in the air and somebody else take the wheel. Not literally, of course, but let's go over to tarot because I want to get some details. I will see you in the extended. The link is below.